commercial success. And just kind of got to go through a little bit about RPR first, what it is. We're part of the National Association of Realtors. It's a wholly owned subsidiary. We've put together a database of property information, both residential and commercial, throughout the country. It's exclusively for realtors. There's no public access. There's no consumer version of this. It's 100% paid for by your NAR dues. There's no additional costs, fees, or upgrades, no enhancements. You have the whole program as an NAR member. Where does RPR fit into your real estate model? Well, you're in the center there, and you've got your broker, your MLS, the association, RPR, and the community. And we're part of that group there to support you and provide you the tools and resources that you need for your business. As far as commercial RPR data, you can see we have a lot of it on RPR. We've got almost 1 million on-market commercial properties for sale. And we also have 56 million commercial off-market properties, part of the public record information. So you'll see properties in RPR from all over the country. These are some of our commercial partners. On the left-hand side are those that provide us with for sale and for lease data. Prexi, Brevitas have national footprint, so we get information from all over the country from them. CompStack is kind of an interesting one where you can actually get comps to use in RPR. As you do comps, you get more credits. It's kind of a cool system. Check it out. And then as far as the off-market data, we have Black Knight Financial Services. We have great information coming from Esri, all that great tapestry data. Valuate is a really wonderful tool where you can run the numbers. Calibrate provides the traffic counts. SMR Research, the tenant data. Climate Check has some great risk and mitigation information. And then, of course, all that great public record data that we have as well. RPR Commercial allows you to search on and off market properties. You can do the site selections, which are very, very cool. We're going to do one of those today. The trade area reports have a lot of great consumer demographic type data, which is wonderful when you're working with a client. And then, as I mentioned, you can do the investment analysis. So there's just a lot of great tools and resources in RPR Commercial. Now, that Esri tapestry data that I mentioned is a real key part, especially with the site selection. And you're going to see how these different consumer segments really form that community, and you'll see it as we kind of go through that. If you do want any more additional information about that consumer segmentation, there's a little link down at the bottom there, rpr.me/Esri, and that'll take you to a kind of an interesting article about all of that great Esri data. So again, it's rpr.me/Esri if you'd like to see more information about that. All right, so you can access RPR from the website here, which is narrpr.com. That's where we're going to go in just a moment. You log in using your email address and password. If you have not set up your RPR account, you just need your email address, the one that NAR has for you, and then also your NERDS or M1 ID number. So that'll get you logged in. If you have any problems, 24 hours, 7 days a week, you can contact our member support folks. And then we also have a great mobile app for either your iPhone or Android device. Just go to the Play Store, the App Store, and download RPR Mobile. It's a wonderful tool that uses the GPS on your phone to see where you are and what's around you. So please be sure to add that. It's a great tool. You have your phone with you all the time, so you might as well have the app running. All right, so let's go to narrpr.com and get started. All right, so here I am logged in to RPR. You can see over on the very far left-hand side, there's a little toggle where you can kind of switch between residential and commercial. If you'll recall back several years, when you switch between residential and commercial, the screen kind of went from blue for residential to red for commercial. Now you don't really see that visual change, but you will see these fields change up here. You don't see beds and baths, of course, when you're on commercial. So kind of gives you some ideas there. All right, so let's kind of look at the search bar. First, we're going to look at these tabs across the top. The first one we have is research. You can do some different searching here. We have the site selection and the map insights here for commercial, as well as some great residential tools. Under marketing, you can, again, do some prospecting. We have all those great RPR reports. We have a whole slew of residential reports, and then also some very good commercial reports. We're going to look at each one of those today. Under Learn, this is kind of nice. It gives you some videos that you can watch. They're nice short videos, and they talk about the tools that are available on the page that you're on. So if you're on the reports page, you're going to see different videos. If you're doing a property search, you're going to see some different videos as well. But notice that since we are on commercial, these videos are commercial based. Under Help, again, here's where you can access our member support folks. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can give them a call, you can send them a chat, send them an email. And then there's also a link to our training resources where you can watch some videos. We have pre-recorded webinars that either are live or on demand. And then we also have some printable guides that give you step-by-step how to use the various tools in RPR. All right, we're going to go and look at the search bar here. The first box says location. You can enter an address, a city, a county, a zip code, whatever you'd like to get started. Under type, again, we can look at for sale, for lease, or that public record data. Under property type, again, you can choose any of these different commercial categories, or you can choose all. That's what we have it set for. Then you have price range, building size, lot size, and so on. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm just going to turn my camera off so you don't have to look at me. You could, I guess, just watch the screen. And we're going to go ahead and do just a quick search here. I'm just going to type in a zip code. And we're just going to search in this particular zip code. And we want to switch this to public records data. And we can see that there's all kinds of data that comes in here. Now, what's kind of nice is you have a more filters option here. And again, if you wanted to, narrow down your search, you have a lot of great criteria. You can look for distressed properties. You can look for properties that might be owned by a particular person or have been owned for a certain length of time. We also have some popular keywords, but of course you can type in your own keywords as well. So again, lots of great ways to do searching. All right, so let's go back to our for sale properties. And we just want to kind of look at the results here on the map. And we can see that we have 5 properties that are for sale. I'm just going to click in this shaded area, which represents that zip code. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit so you can see that area. And when you click in that area, you can see you have some different options that pop up. One is we can search for properties in the area. Another is we can do a site selection. And the bottom one is that we can do a trade area report. So again, lots of great options here that we can take care of. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to choose create a trade area report. So we want to see what the demographics, what the consumer information is in this particular area. Here's the trade report options. And I'm just going to click on customize. So you can see we have all the different report sections are available. You can turn them on or turn them off. Here are our custom pages. This is where you can add your own content into RPR to be included in the reports. And you do that over here on the right-hand side under Manage Custom Pages. I'm just going to go ahead and click on that. And you can see I have 3 different pages uploaded into RPR for my reports. Now you can have up to 5 custom pages. Each page has to be a PDF, and it has to be less than 10 meg. But a 10 meg PDF can be very, very big. You could have 20 or 30 pages in that file if you really wanted to. And so all you have to do is just hit, add another custom page, search your computer for those PDFs that you want to include, and then you can choose to put them at the beginning or at the end of the report. If you want to delete a page, just hit X, hit save, and then that one is now removed. Again, you have the different trade area options here. If there's something you're not sure what that is going to look like, you can just put your mouse over that little eye, and it'll show you what that looks like in the report. Again, down here, you can have traffic counts. You want to display 1 or 2 pages. Over here, you have all the different cover page options that you want to include, and those are coming from your profile, so make sure you do have that updated. Then down here, you can personalize the report for the person you're working with. You can type a little message. And then down here, you can download the report as a PDF, or you can print it, email it, use it on your laptop or computer for a presentation, or you can send it via email right from RPR, and it's going to come from your email address. We store the reports in RPR for 30 days. After that, they're going to drop off the system, but you do have some options. You can download the report to your computer. If it's an old report that you don't need anymore, you can delete it. Some reports, especially like the trade area reports, might be interesting to post on Facebook. You can rerun reports that are going to be expiring, and you can review your report activity. If you've sent it via email through RPR, it'll show you when that report was accessed. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the trade area report that I ran for this particular zip code. All right, so here we can see the zip code area. At the top, we have the RPR branding. Now, that's going to be branded for the South Central Wisconsin MLS, or it could be branded for your individual brokerage. Here's where I have my branding, my photo, my logo, all my contact information. So again, make sure that you do have that uploaded into your profile so it's accessed for the report. Now, in the upper left, you can see this report is 19 pages. So it's a really nice detailed report. And when you look at this, just imagine how your buyer or seller is going to really be impressed with this great report and how attractive it is and easy to understand. Now, here's the first page of the trade area report, and I'm just going to zoom in so that you can see it a little bit better. Here again, we're using that great Esri data. We can see the median household income for this area, median age, total population, and the dominant consumer segment is dorms to diplomas. And we can see those top three segments are listed right here. Shows you the, some of the great statistics about those folks, median age, diversity in household income, do they own a home or not, levels of education. Here we can see they use a computer for just about everything. These folks read books, magazines, and use the web for news. So again, lots of great information about the people that live in this area and make up this segment. And then as we scroll through the report, you have a detailed sheet on each of those top three consumer segments. And then we go into the different sections of the report. So first, we're going to look at the population comparison, and we can see the zip code, the county, and the state. And the dark blue line, that represents the 2022 information, which is the most current. And the gold or yellow line represents a 5-year projection. So you can kind of see where our numbers going in this particular area. So again, age groups, you can always see that, there's going to be more older people, I guess, as we get further out there. You have marital status here, economic comparison, household income, per capita income, employment by industry. Here you have education levels, commute times, how people get to work, home values. And then here we have those traffic counts. So again, we can see, what the traffic counts are on some of these key streets in the zip code. Here's a little bit about that RPR data. And then these are the two pages that I added to the report. One is my profile, and then also some testimonials. So again, we were able to put together this really nice 19-page report with just a couple of mouse clicks, and we have something that's really very valuable. Now, I forgot to mention early on, if you do have any questions, please go ahead, type those into the chat box that's kind of at the bottom of the screen there as part of your Zoom control panel. Just says chat. If you do have a question, please go ahead and add it to that. Happy to answer any questions. All right, so now let's go and take a look at a property in RPR. We're going to first start out again with our zip code. And again, we're looking at for sale properties. So right now we can see those properties here on the map. And let me just kind of zoom out a little bit here. So we can see the zip code outline, and we can see those 5 properties here on the map. Now, we do have a couple of different views here that you can look at. We have, this is the map view, then we have the photo grid view, and then to the left of that is the list view. And again, we can sort that list by any number of different criteria. Currently, it's most expensive to least expensive. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a look at this first property, which appropriately for this time of the day is a Dunkin' Donuts shop over on Park Street. And we'll take a look at some of the great information that we have available for this property. So here we can see, as this is an active listing, we can see the photos that are provided on this property. And we can kind of scroll through those and look at those here as well. We also have the Google Street View, where we can click around and look up and down the street in this area. We have the satellite view, and we can also look at historical photos for this property. Here we have some from Crexy, which is the current listing, and then we also have a couple historical listings when the property was in the MLS. Going across here, we have the current list price for the property, $2,200,000. We can see that in 2020, it sold for $1,850,000. And the property went active back in towards the end of May. Let's see, we have some additional information here. Scrolling down, we can see an interactive map. I'm just going to click on that. And we can see a little bit more of the area here. So again, here's our subject property. We have a current listing down here. That's an active multi-residential property. And then all these gray properties you see, those are not for sale, but those are just properties that are part of the commercial data. Now you have some different options over here on the right-hand side that you can take a look at. We can change our view. We can look at a satellite view of the area. We can look at an aerial view. Of course, we have the road view. And if terrain is an issue, you can look at a terrain view as well. We can also have a drawing tool where you can use freehand drawing a circle or a square, whatever you want to draw. We have a radius search, which would be a circle, a polygon, which would be something that is more free form, and then also a box or a rectangle. Below that is our driving. Here we can overlay the map with our travel time. So if you're working with somebody who wants to look at properties within a certain time drive of a particular area, you can do that. We can also overlay the map with different circles of distance. And then finally, we can even look at the traffic counts in the area. And we can just go ahead and click on any of those, and it will tell us the traffic activity in that area. All right, we also have points of interest. We can overlay the map with different points of interest here. Let's see if we want to look at the different restaurants in the area. We can do that. And let me just zoom out a little bit to see some of those. Let's see. Maybe I have to zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I guess I don't see any. But anyway, you can go ahead and overlay with different options. You have, these are all retail type businesses, and then down below would be more business to business type companies. Let's see. Then below that, we have schools, we have data layers. If you wanted to, look at things here like, percent of the population who are seniors, if that's something of interest to you, you can do that. And it'll show you that where the concentrations of seniors are located in the area. So again, all kinds of great overlays that you have options there as well as part of that interactive map. All right, scrolling down a little bit further, we can look at the public record data that we have for this property. We have the listing facts. Over here on the right-hand side are some of those additional resources. Here's that Valuate tool where you can run the numbers. You have Comp Stack, which provides you with comps. And then we have that climate check resource as well. Here's the actual listing information. Again, it's coming from Prexy. We have the listing office, the agent remarks, and all of that great information. Here are the property features. We don't have any tenants currently for this property, but you can add those manually if you would like. Anything that you add or change in RPR, you're the only person that's going to see that. So do, check that out. Let's see, owner information, financial information, legal description, the listing history. Here's the public record history of the property. We can see the deed recording. We have any mortgage history for the property, and then the tax information as well. And again, you can go back and scroll through the historical information. So again, lots of great information available on this property. So do check it out. All right, so let's go back to the top. We can see the trade area information. Oops, let me just reload that. Hang on a second. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's see. So we go back to our property. Sorry about that. I appreciate your patience. And we'll go back to this property. And let's just reload. All right. So let's go to the trade area section. So it's asking me to reload the page. How interesting. I'm trying to do that. All right, well, sorry about that. All right, so let me try to do the reload that it's asking me for. Go back to the home page. All right, and we'll do our zip code real quick. And now let's try the trade area. Perfect. Sorry about that. Apparently there was an updated that I didn't have. So all right, so anyway, so now we're on the trade area information specifically for this property. And again, you can see the key details here. Here you have the different demographic information. Here we're looking at population, age groups, marital status, income level, and so on. So again, lots of great information. And then from here, again, you could go back to the trade area report. Final tab is my updates. This allows you to put in any photos or notes that you'd like to add to this property. And again, anything that you do in RPR is strictly accessible by you. It's not something that every realtor would have access to. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to the property. And we're going to then go and create a report. And this would be the property report. Let's go ahead and hit the plus sign. And again, we can see the different sections of the report are listed here. Again, we can mouse over if there's something we're not sure about. And then let's go ahead and take a look at that property report. All right, so again, we can see the photo. And again, you can upload your own photo if you'd rather do that. You can easily do that. This report is only 10 pages, so it's fairly concise. We can see the basic facts for the property. List price, last sold price, price per square foot. Here's the extended property facts, interior and exterior features. Here's the listing information, price change history, assessed values, legal description, deed and mortgage recordings. Some nice overhead shots here. We've got the map, we've got the aerial view and the satellite view. And let's see, we've got a couple more pages. Property photos for the property. Again, those are provided in the listing. Here we have the traffic counts in the area. and again, my profile and my testimonial. So again, a really nice 10-page report on that property that you can easily generate within RPR. All right, so let's go back to the home page. And we're going to put in the zip code, or actually we're going to just put in the area. So we're just going to put in Madison. And we're going to go to the map view. And just like we did earlier, I don't know if you remember, but when we click into this area, one of the options is to conduct a site selection. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to use all that great data in RPR to help us determine the best place for a business that we're working with. So you can see we start out with the search area, and then we can use some spending and demographic data, again, to kind of narrow down the location. Now, what we're going to look at here is we're going to look at as if we're working with someone who's going to put in a med spa. So anyway, we're going to look for females who are middle-aged, have a high disposable income, and spend lots of money on personal care products. So that's our target group right there. And we can find all that information using the tools. So again, we're going to look at Madison. And then we can start with our attributes. So again, we want who they are, and we're going to select gender, and we're going to select females. Then we're going to add another criteria, again, who they are. We're going to look at age, and we want middle age. We'll hit OK. We're going to add another criteria, and we're going to, again, use who they are, but this time we're going to select income. And we want to have a high disposable income by percentage. So we want some fairly affluent folks here for our med spa. And then the last one is what they buy. And we're going to look at personal care items. And that kind of gives us that analysis. So if you're working with somebody who's putting in a sports bar or one of these wine, paint, and sip kind of places, you can really hone down the audience, the consumers who would patronize that business using these great tools in here under the site selection area. So we're going to go ahead, run our analysis, and we can then see the sections are highlighted here on the map. So the darker the section, the better the location for this particular business. And we can go ahead and we can click on an area, and it will tell us this is in the best category. Shows us how many females, 55, almost 56%, middle-aged, high disposable income, personal care products. They spent about $1,400 on personal care products in that area. Same over here. And let's look at some of these other areas. Same thing. So lots of great information. We can also access it from below here, and we can look at the #1 area, and we can see that's over here, Blackhawk area in Madison. And we can then search for listings in the area. We can look at the trade area details for this particular area. So again, if we're putting a presentation together for our client who owns this med spa or wants to build one, we have a lot of great resources available. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to look at the report. And again, this is called the Trade Area Analysis Report. We're going to look at View Sample. I'm sorry, we're going to look at the plus sign here. And again, we can see there's not a lot of sections here. It's pretty straightforward. And we're going to go ahead and look at the sample report that I put together. So again, we did for the city of Madison, and we did our trade area report analysis, best places to find your customers within Madison. And as we scroll through here, and let me just zoom in so it's not so tiny. You can see those key sections are highlighted here. Again, the darker the color, the more potential customers in that particular area. And again, you see the graph below criteria used for analysis. And then here we can see the results of that search. And it gives us the particulars, percent of female, count per middle, the middle age category, percent of high disposable income, and the money spent on personal care. So again, looking at this one, very high disposable income, spent about $1,700 on personal care. But again, we can see that it's a smaller percentage of females in this area. So you can have, see what's the most important to your client. Here's again, more per capita income or high income. And again, you can see the amount spent on personal care. So again, a lot of great information as we scroll through the report. Again, you can see the smaller percent of return there on these outlying areas. All right, so that's our great trade area report, the analysis. And I just want to mention a couple other things here for you as well. The mobile app is a great tool for the commercial properties. Again, you can see it does change to red when you are on commercial. And you make that change in the upper left, there's that little gear. And at the very top of that settings section is the toggle between residential and commercial. And again, it'll be blue for residential and red for commercial. Again, here you can look at a property in RPR, and here's that Valuate tool. And you can even do the investor analysis right on your mobile device. It is really, really powerful. So again, please check that out. Again, some of the other resources that we have that you can take advantage of. Again, the website address, narrpr.com. On our blog site, you're going to see all kinds of awesome resources. In fact, we're going to go over there in just a moment. Let's do that real quick. Just want to show you some of these resources that you have available. First off is the industry segments here. Just come down to commercial and we tell you all about the great tools within RPR that you as a commercial practitioner have. Again, webinars, video tutorials, some great printable guides, and how you can use RPR commercial for prospecting, for site selection, as part of your listing presentation, and for that investor analysis. And then this shows you, again, those great data partners that we have teamed up with to bring that powerful public record and for sale data into RPR. So do check out, this is again under industry segments for commercial, and it shows you many of the things that we looked at today. We didn't talk about opportunity zones, but that is a great way to search for properties that may have some benefit for your buyers, again, using those governmental incentives. The reports, the mobile app, and so on. So again, that's under industry segments. And the last thing I just want to show you here under learning, again, you have different topic pages. If you want to go to commercial, you could see a lot of resources here as well. Starting with RPR commercial, access the trade area information, and then some success stories as how different realtors used RPR commercial in their business. This is kind of an interesting one where an agent helped this Crumble Cookies find locations all around the country, again, using RPR. And then also under learning, if you come over here to the learning types, we have printables, and you have a whole section just on commercial. So again, if you want a step-by-step on how to use the site selection tools, let's say, it gives you step-by-step on how to use those tools. So do check that out. Again, that's going to be right there on our blog site under learning. All right, so that is really what I wanted to show you. And let's see if we have any questions. Again, you can type those into the chat box there at the bottom of the screen. I'm happy to answer those questions or demonstrate anything that maybe I didn't cover in enough detail that you could understand it. Happy to do that for you. And I'll just leave this screen up. It has our blog site address here, and then also the phone number for the member support. And I'll tell you, probably the number one question we get is people having trouble setting up their account. So if you have not yet activated your RPR account, please go ahead and do that. Again, there's no charge for any of the tools that we looked at today. So do take advantage of that. All right, let me just check our chat here.
Any questions or questions? Anybody?
I couldn't quite hear what you asked.
No, I was just saying I'm not seeing anything.
No, I didn't. I don't see any either, Ruth. Oh, Eric just says thank you. Well, you're most welcome. I'm happy we could get together and take a look at these great resources.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you, Ernie, for being here this morning. And this session has been recorded, so we're going to make it available on our association social media pages. Big thank you again, and please don't hesitate to utilize RPR, which is a fantastic tool.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. All right, have a great day, Ernie.
You too.